Hey gamblers, welcome back to Shoulda Cashed Out. And we're back at the craps table. Got a little Darkside strategy for you. And we're going to use a $1,000 bankroll. The strategy is my own. It's called the wheel. Now, another name for the wheel is called the DC plug. Okay? So, I guess it just kind of depends on when you kind of grew up playing craps. I've always called it the wheel. I've always heard it called the wheel until kind of lately. And people call it like the DC plug. This is one of the safest ways to play the dark side. And it's the most consistent winning dark side strategy, or one of the most consistent. So how it's going to work is we're not doing don't pass. We're strictly don't come. So you're going to start $30 DC. You're going to wait for a point. $30 DC. It's going to travel right there. Your next DC is half of whatever your first DC bet is. So $30, we're at 15. Okay? Then here's where we wheel. It goes round and round like a wheel. 5 rolls. You're going to go there. You're going to plug or wheel the 5. So we just made a wheel, and we're going to circle back with the next DC, 15. It goes to the 4. And then so on and so on. So it's just continuous. Okay? That's why it's called the wheel, because you're making a circle. The DC comes here, you plug, and then you go back to the DC. You just keep making a circle. All right, so let's rewind. Let's say our DC gets whacked. So that's $30. Our next main DC is going to go up by 10. So we're now at $40. $40. It travels. The next DC, $20. Half of our bet. And what will happen as this increases by $10, the gap between these DCs and place bets get bigger and bigger and bigger. So when that 7 comes, you're able to recover super quick, very efficiently. Now, there's going to be times where you may lose $1 or you may win $1, and that's okay. Or you may, if we get to $30, you go here on the 6 and you just plug for 30. Okay? That's if we get like to the $60 DC level. Okay? It'll make sense. It sounds confusing, but you gotta trust, pay attention. The math is on your side. And there'll be different circumstances where I can tell you, well, if you're feeling like it's going to be a hot roll, play more light side than dark side. So I'll talk you through it. Right now, let's catch a point. This is our dark side wheel. Here we go. 527. We don't like playing the don't pass on this, but we will have a don't pass, and I'll explain that situation as we go. 415. 5 is the point. All right. Base level 30. It's never going to go lower than 30. This is great for you could do this at a $10 table or $15 table. 213. So we win 30. Don't count on those. Part of the strategies. They're nice when it happens, but we're not counting on those to get us our win. All right, half of that is going to be 15, which is our next DC. Yo 11, we just replace. No big deal. This is about as stress-free craps as it comes. 6, 4, 10, that's a good number for us because the further we get on the edge, the wider the gap. So we can only plug $10 there. We'll win $3 if it rolls, or we'll win $5 if the bad number rolls. Get our next DC. Hard 4, another really good number. Plug it with 10. Get our next DC. It has a natural recovery the further and further up the progression you get. So you have to keep an eye on your bankroll in this one. So we lose the 6, and then we'll plug the 6. Here's an opportunity where you could play light side and go 18. I don't necessarily like doing that, so I'll just plug with 12. So we're at the $40 level. Here we go. Midnight. 516. So that's going to travel. This loses. We get paid 14. Okay, yeah, we lost $1, but I mean, you could have played 18 there if you wanted to. So our next DC, we've got 40. We go half of that. So 20. The main DC goes up by 10. These little guys go up by 5. It's the easiest way to remember. There's the 639. So our $20 goes here. 15 here. So that gap's getting wider and wider and wider. So a 7 here would be extremely favorable. No, there's the hard 6. So we're whacking our DC again. That's okay. We're not worried. So we got 20 there, so we can plug it with 18. So if the 6 rolls, we'll win $1. Now we're at the $50 level. Okay. 527. That sucks. But we'll pay it out and kind of see where we're at. So these are all our losings. So we made $5 there. And then 15 over there. So all this comes back to the rack. All right. Puck's off. We're at the $60 level now. 415. We're not stressed. We got a $1,000 bankroll. $60 main DC. There's the 437. It's going to really test the strategy this time, apparently. It's okay. Hard 10. We're at the $70 level. There we go. 213. So that's going to win 70. Come down by 10. All right. There's the hard 6. Okay, our $60 DC travels there. Now we're at 30. Half of our DC. 314, that's beautiful. That's what we want to see. So we could go extremely dark side and only do 15, and we would lose $3. Or we could do something like what I'd like to do is just do 20. We'll win $10, or we'll win $10 if it's rolled. So our next $30 DC. Hard 10, that's the point. Another excellent number for us. We'll do the same thing. We'll plug it for 20. In this situation, we want to keep the party going, so we're going to go on the DC, or the DP for 30. So we got $30 DP coming out. Midnight, here's where we want that 7. There it is, 437, beautiful. Okay, let's remove all our losings. Now let's replace with our winnings. Got $60 on that bad boy. And another 30 over there. So let's rack all this up. And see how we're looking. We're looking pretty good. There's 500, 600, 700, 800, 875, 975. There's 1,000. So just like that, we're up 30, 6, 39. We're up like $41. $41, and y'all thought we were probably doing terrible. All right, so we can reset all the way back to base to the $30 level. That's what I'm saying. We got up to what, 70? And then we recovered. 527. This strategy is about having faith and trust that the 7 is going to come. All right, there we are. Travels to the 6. And I don't like doing this strategy with the don't pass from the get-go, because then it feels like you're fighting sometimes the come-out roll. So half our DC, so we're at 15. Here we go. Yo 11, we're going to lose our 15. No big deal, not an issue. 6, 4, 10. All right, we'll plug it with 10 or wheel it with 10, whichever terminology you like. It does not matter. Here we go. We got 15. 314. That's beautiful. That's what we want to see. We want to see 4s and 10s, because that gives us a better opportunity to win on the 7. 15 in the DC. 617. All right, so let's play out these winnings. So there's our DP. Take away these. Win 15 on the 4. And then we're going to win 30 on our 6. So that's 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. We're up 30, 40, $51 now. We're up $51. Here we go, coming out. 6-5, yo. Aces. 639. Base level. $30 DC. We're at $51 ahead so far. 6, 4, 10, beautiful. 15, the DC. 516. Again, here's an opportunity to play light side if you want. It's up to you in that situation. I like just staying kind of heavy, darker side. 415. Again, we could do 15 there if you wanted to. I'm just doing 10. 3, 1. Oh, sorry, I didn't have my next DC out. I apologize. I would have went there. Plug it for 10. My bad. Don't yell at me. A lot of moving parts to this. Here we go. 538. Our DC goes to the 8. Plugging it with 12. Now we want to see big red. There we go. Or that works too. 213. Let's win 15. 426. Yeah, we lose $1. Travels. That loses. Gets paid $14. We lose $1 on that transaction, but you know what? It's going to end up being profitable unless the 6 rolls more than 5 times before the 7. All right. Just so we're on the same page. 213. Nice. 15. I mean, this is very relaxing, but it's a lot of action. You know, there's a lot of action on the table. 437. So you're not going to get bored just playing out a don't pass or DC. So, all right, so let's take down all these losings. All right, so here's all our losings so we can just kind of see. We won't even count that. So there's 3, 3, 3, 2, and so we need another red right there. Then we got to pay that full 30. Chop. Very nice. Get all these winnings racked up. This is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to play the dark side if you don't want to fight or stress about the come out roll on the 7. All right, looking where we're at. That's 500, 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. So all of this right here is profit. We got 25, 50, 70, $81. $81 profit so far. Let's keep it going a little longer. 617. We're not fighting the don't pass. 325. Let me know in the comment if you've heard this called the wheel or if you would call it the DC plug. Very interested to know because I've heard both. I've always called it the wheel. All right, here we go. 437, that sucks. So we're back down to $51 ahead. And this situation being in profit, you don't have to ladder up if you don't want to. You could come back in with $30 at the base level. I'm going to ladder up, but you certainly don't have to. So I'm at 40. Hard 8. Half of the 40, $20. Midnight. Hard 10. That's what we want to see. And we plug it for 15. Get our $20 DC. There we go. There's the 549. Plug that for 15. There we go. Dice are out. 5-2 all through. Take down our losings. There's our total losings. We got $20 for the 10, $20 for the 9, and then we're missing a green and a red. Looks good. Coming out. 325. $30 DC. Back to base. We were at 40. We laddered down. 628. And I wouldn't get super aggressive and do like a full 30, 30, 30, down 30, 30, 30. There's not really a need. Just go up 10, down 10. Just go up and down the Lambert ladder, whatever you want to call it. All right, we're at 15. Here we go. 437. Go there. And then 15 more. Let's check where we're at. A lot of bankroll checking. That's okay. There's 600, 700, 800, 900, 1,000. So 3, 5, 3, 5. There's 50, 75, 85. Okay, we're up $96. So we're almost at 10% win goal. There we go. Aces. Probably this, hopefully be the last shooter. 617. 213. I'll try to play this in a live so y'all can actually really see it in action. And we'll try to make quite a bit of money in that. There we go, coming out. 426. DP would have got smacked in the lip on that one. All right, so in this situation, we definitely want to go on the DP. Half of our main DC. Here we go. 549. That's the point. We're going to plug the 9 with 10. And we're going to get back on our DC. Midnight. 213. Wins 15. And if you're worried about casinos letting you play like this, I play this on the roll to win at WinStar. Because they absolutely will let you play it on the roll to win. All right, that travels. DP loses. But we win 14. No big deal. Back on the DP. Yo 11, we lose on the DP. Once again, showing why I don't like the DP as our main bet for our dump. 549. So that's going to lose. So overall, we lose $1 on that. There we go. Not a problem. There's our DC. Yo, 11. Those 11s are coming at the worst time possible. They're just irritating. It's all right. 7. We can muscle through it. All right, so pay our DP. There we go. And then pay our main DC. All right, let me get some green. That'll make this. So 2 greens. There we go. Let's count up what we're at. I think we're there. All right. Well, that's almost a full rack. Hang on, let's see. So 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, 975. So 1,075, 1,080. We're at $99. Yeah. $99. All right, so let's do one more. Let's get it. I wouldn't recommend doing this. Take your 99 bucks and leave, but let's do it. I know this strategy is going to work. On the 6. There's 30 bucks in the DC. Midnight. Come on. Just craps and we're out of here. 6, 4, 10. In this situation, since we're so close to our profit goal, we could just plug this with 15 bucks or 20 if we wanted to. There we go. Let's go. Let's get it. 639. $639, so we lose $1 in the transaction. So if everyone's okay, we know how it works. I'm just going to give $1 from the rack. Again, 639. We know from the math, I need to pay $1. Hope that's not confusing. 628. Plug it with 12. Get our next DC out. There we go. 213. 115. Come on, big red. 213 again. It's making up for that string of 11s that we had last shooter. There's boxcars. 6, 4, 10. That's what I say. If I wanted to, I could have plugged it with 20. That's okay. All right. Plug it with 10 Deleros. And we could play this out and probably be in profit, but let's go. We don't really need to ladder up. We'll stay at 30. Hard 10. Okay, that's going to travel. That's going to lose, but win $3. And we'll take that down. So that transaction is going to end up working in our favor. There we go. 437. Yep. That definitely worked in our favor. Here we go. So let's get all these losers out of the way. All right, let's pay. There's 15, 15. That's 7. There we go. All right, let's rack it. All right, let's count up where we're at. So that's 500. Just to show y'all. In case y'all think I'm miscounting, which So there he goes. Let me get another green. Okay. One green. There's our $1,000 bankroll. Let's see what we got here. Well, straight away I know that's 100, but I'll count it out for you. See? There's 100, 105. I know those are 10 stacks. So 3 reds. Right there. So $123. $1,000 starting bankroll made $123. So, and we were never stressed. And there was times where, yeah, we hit our DC, we hit the 11s and all that, but the strategy is strong. It's going to recover. You just got to have faith, and you don't need that large of a bankroll. I would not do this with less than $1,000, just because the DC, there's times where it gets up there, but not too often. I think the highest I've ever had the DC was like $80. Okay, and in this demonstration, I think the highest we got to was 60. So the highest I've had it is 80, and it still fights back because as the main DC gets bigger and bigger and bigger, these bets, the gap widens. So when the 7 does come, you're going to get more coming back to your rack. You know, if you think about it, if we get up to the $80 version, or let's just say $60 version, okay? Is that what we got up to this time, 60? So that puts, like in the situation of a 10, 30, well, we were doing 15 or 20. So either way, we're going to make $10, you know? And if it even goes higher, that's even more of a gap. So, but hopefully you enjoyed the strategy. I'm going to try to play it live one night here pretty soon so I can really kind of show it off and answer any questions you may have or whatever. So, till next time, be excellent to each other.